The sawmill is not where it's supposed to be. Hey folks, Robert Milton again, your favorite sawmilling channel, I hope. And today we are not sawing because the sawmill is not where it's supposed to be. It's actually in the third bay of our building. It's going to be here for several days because we got concrete poured where this thing normally sits. Most times, or for years, many years, we elected to have the sawmill run on a dirt floor. Now we have decided to take a chance, and it is a chance, it's a big chance, there's a certain risk involved with this, to have it on a concrete floor. And that's what we're going to talk about, the pros and cons of putting your pride and joy sawmill on either dirt or on a concrete floor. Here's the before photos. So we have a big week ahead of us. This is going to be concrete. Wow. We got a lot of work to do. They're coming tomorrow. Even Chip's going to help. Not sure about Lucy. What do you think, Lucy? You going to help too? No? Okay. Well, Lucy's decided she's not going to help. All right, we got it in its travel position. Got the table moved. Outriggers are up. Didn't get that log sawn. Oh well. It is now resting comfortably for Christmas in the third bay. She didn't help that much. Lucy didn't. Chip did. We are in pretty good shape. Hadn't seen it like this in 20 years. Hard Alabama clay. There goes Chip chasing Lucy. Chip can run. Here comes Lucy for a flyby. Nope. Chip's gonna come over and inspect it. What do you think, Chip? And that's what we're going to talk about, the pros and cons of putting your pride and joy sawmill on either dirt or on a concrete floor. First off, concrete is slick, and when you're loading logs with the loader arms and it's flipping the logs onto the sawmill, it really shakes that mill around. And before long, the sawmill that was over there is now over there. The sawmill will have moved. It will slide. When you're sawmilling on dirt, the outriggers will dig a hole in the dirt, basically lock themselves in. So dirt is really good for sawmilling on because it naturally stabilizes the sawmill and keeps it from walking. When we first installed this one, we put gravel down, hard packed gravel under here, and I had such a problem with the sawmill walking that I attached straps to that one from there to the sawmill, and I drove a hunk of steel in the ground over here and attached that to the sawmill, and that was the only way I could keep it from rocking and sliding to the wall. 1/16 of an inch of time per log. Every week I was having to move the whole thing back out, which is not good on a sawmill when you're dragging a sawmill sideways. So that was a real problem. Eventually, of course, it didn't take too long, where just the repeated poundings of the mill into the dirt basically sunk the outriggers, like fence posts, into the dirt, and that locked the sawmill down. So that's one of the main disadvantages of a sawmill on concrete, is it will want to move. Then you're gonna say, well, shoot, well, that's no big deal. Put some anchors in it. Anchor it to the concrete. And yes, that is also a good idea. And it's something I will do. But once again, we get to the issue of you better have some strong concrete, and anchoring anything that's getting jarred is hard on the equipment. Metal bends, concrete doesn't. When you're loading a 4,000 pound log, or I think the biggest I've loaded on here was 4,500 pounds. When you load a 4,500 pound log on a 3,000 pound sawmill hooked up to 35,000 or whatever, I guess I ought to run the numbers, a concrete truck and a half load of concrete, the weak spot is the sawmill. I'm going to plan on using what are called epoxy anchors, not the standard old school redheads or expandable anchors, concrete anchors. Those put a tremendous stress on the concrete, especially with repeated impact loads. As a matter of fact, that's how you get those old school concrete anchors out of the ground. You hit them with a hammer a bunch of times, they shatter the concrete that's around them, and then the next thing you know, you pull the anchors out. So anyway, that's number two. Concrete is very hard on your sawmill. Dirt is a lot more forgiving. Concrete is also hard on your feet and your legs. Been there, done that. Even packed dirt and gravel is hard on your legs. Over time, you're moving, you're standing. And I don't know, but if you will notice, but in some of my videos, I have a rubber mat. I'll go show it to you. I have a rubber mat that I stand on. The fourth big disadvantage is, whew, it's expensive, especially these days. So you can't just pour a few bags of Quikrete and expect that slab to hold up. It ain't gonna. Wood-Mizer recommends a 6-inch minimum slab with rebar, 1/2-inch rebar, every 24 inches. So this slab is curing up, made it 6 inches thick right here. We did put fiber in it. I'm not a big fan of fiber, but it does help the strength of the concrete in a tensile way. So one of the best things you can do is up the Portland cement fraction. And basically you go from 3,000 PSI concrete, which is normal, to high strength concrete, which is 5,000 PSI. Doesn't really add much to the cost. It adds a little bit, but not a whole lot. So that's how you engineer, that's how you over engineer a slab. It's 48 feet long and 12 feet wide. It's more than enough room for our mill because we are using a dust collector. And it seems to work really good. Yeah, I guess if it was a couple feet wider, that would be fine. It doesn't need to be any longer. We've got clear span right here. So we have plenty of room to move logs in and whatnot. It's got 2 walls on it. This helps the wind. It's got a north wall to block that north wind. Of course, then it's got the barn wall to block the western sun, which is really hot in Alabama. And to me, this is the best configuration, at least for us, because the open wall is to the south. If there's a south wind in the winter, it'll help warm me up. Certainly an advantage of concrete is that it's a lot easier to clean. And that's one of the major reasons I wanted to switch to concrete under the sawmill, because I'm tired of struggling cleaning it. Our dust collector does a great job, picks up about 95% of the sawdust. but it does not get the big stuff. We did get a concrete slab under our edger several years ago. It used to run on a dirt floor, and it makes it a whole lot easier to clean up. They'll come back and they'll cut crack stopper grooves in it. Concrete always cracks, so you go ahead and cut a groove in it. If you ever wonder why those grooves are in your pavement, that's what it's for. It's not to keep your concrete from cracking, it's to trap any cracks that do start. Now what we have to do is we got to make sure the drainage is correct. We know we drain that direction. I want to make sure I continue to drain that direction, but I also want to start draining that direction. I want it to pool up and spread out instead of running that way only. So I'm going to put a ditch right here with the grading bucket on the excavator and pull it down and cut through this hump, try to get water going that way and try to get water going that way. We'll see. Need to get the laser level out and need to put the grading bucket on, and then we're going to get to that. And this is how we check grade here at Hobby Hardwood. Now I did use a laser level to shoot this originally, but nothing does better than putting a water hose in it. Basically I want to make sure this rain comes down from here, it hits there, and it goes that way. So you can see where it starts puddling up, and that lets me know where I need to be. And then we'll move the sawmill back into here. We'll set it up, hook up the dust collector and whatnot. Like I say, I know people who've been doing this their whole life. They will never get a concrete slab under their sawmill. I know people who've been doing it their whole life who swear and love a concrete slab under the sawmill. I can see both sides of it. I've been doing dirt floor sawmill for so long. I was willing to take a chance, and we're going to try. A little different to my normal videos, but I thought this was something, if it was important enough for me to worry about in my sawmilling operation, it may be important enough for you guys, for me to at least explain to you the decision process. Chip, help us out here. Come on. Get it.
It's got Big Daddy.
Get it, Chip. Get it. You almost got it. Get it, boy. Get it. Come on. Well, he's getting mad at it now. Get it. Oh, it's moving.
Attached to the tree.
Oh, look at that. You got some of it.
There, I got that one.
He'll whittle this thing down till there's nothing left.
Oh, sun finally comes out.
Yeah, the sun comes out when we're done.
Cool.
All right, Chip. We'll finish it tomorrow. Come on. Thanks for visiting our sawmill. Click on the links above to see more of our videos.